The carnivore diet goes against everything that I've ever been taught through my undergrad, my master's, or even through my doctoral work. And so I feel like it's only fitting for me to try it out. There's been a lot of anecdotal evidence out there with the carnivore diet. People saying that their joint pain has been resolved, chronic diseases have been resolved, weight management, weight loss, just better feelings of energy. All of these things are rising, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's hard to ignore the anecdotal evidence. A lot of physicians, a lot of scientists will immediately throw out the anecdotal evidence because it's not a peer-reviewed study. But I feel like the only way that I can answer questions to clients about the carnivore diet is to actually do it myself. So I want to talk a little bit about what my hopes are for the diet, and how I'm going to approach it, and the whole 9 yards. So let's get into it. My goals, my hopes are that my hip pain that I've been dealing with for over 4 years, my right hip pain, resolves. So I know that that's an orthopedic issue, and I have done everything from a rehab perspective, from a massage therapy perspective, you name it, I've done it to try and resolve this hip pain. Keeps me up at night, and I've about had it. Foot pain. I've been having some pretty massive foot pain, especially through my right foot, and then shoulder pain, and then intermittent back pain. So my goal is ultimately to resolve that pain. If I can get lessened desires for caffeine, that would be amazing. So I don't feel dependent on caffeine. If I can clean out all of the processed foods that I know are not good for me, that'd be amazing too. So one of the things that I've learned is that sugar cravings actually completely go away when you go completely carnivore. So that's the goal, right? Those are just a couple of the reasons why I'm doing this. I want to see what happens. What I am sure of is I know that sugar is a feeder of cancer, and cancer runs in my family. My mom was just diagnosed with it last February. My grandmother passed away from it, and so if this works, and if it could inspire my mom to go carnivore, and it works and it helps get rid of her cancer, then that would be huge. Also, one of the other things that we understand about excess sugar intake is that it feeds neurological disease. It increases oxidative stress. And so that's another thing that runs in my family on my dad's side is Alzheimer's and dementia. So I'm looking to lower and mitigate my risk factors for those things. So I'm doing this for health reasons. I do have some concerns, and so I'm going to be taking some precautions on this journey. My concerns are that my blood pressure, my cholesterol are going to skyrocket. That I'm going to be at risk for coronary heart disease. That I'm going to be lethargic. I'm going to lose energy, and ultimately, I'm going to see a diminished athletic performance. And that might happen regardless, as my body is trying to adjust. But what I will say is that I am committing to this thing for 90 days. My official start date is going to be June 1st, 2024. Although I have to say, as I've been doing the research, I've been reading a book called The Carnivore Diet by Dr. Sean Baker, and it's compelling. It really challenges what I have always been taught, what I think that I know about nutrition, and it does speak to a lot of the concerns that I have. So I'm going to give it this 90 days, and we're going to test. We're going to do a full blood panel. We're going to be testing triglycerides and cholesterol and all of those things. But we're also going to be testing hormones as well. I want to see what my testosterone production is. I'm a 43, almost 44-year-old man, and I want to know how my hormone systems are doing in this process. So I'll be doing that. I'll also be doing a DEXA scan, which is really the best measure for not just musculoskeletal density and fat composition, but also bone density. So I'd like to know, am I going to see a diminished amount of muscle mass? Am I going to see diminished bone health? We'll see. So that is kind of where we're at on the carnivore diet, and we'll go from there, right? I've been at this thing now for 24 hours. After getting into the book a little bit more by Dr. Sean Baker, I realized that, why am I going to wait until June 1st? I still am going to get the blood panels done. I can't imagine that much is going to change in just a couple days of doing carnivore into the blood panels. But so I know that there might be some minor tweaks there, or some minor impacts on the tests, but ultimately my feeling better and my curiosity on this has kind of gotten the better of me. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to jump right in. I've been at this thing for over 24 hours. Give you guys an idea of what I've eaten. So yesterday morning, I had my normal 6 eggs, and I've been doing 6 eggs, guys, every morning for probably 2 decades. And by every measure, the doctors should say that my cholesterol should already be through the roof. And the last time I got a physical, that was not the case. My blood pressure was well within normal ranges. So I'm curious to see how the carnivore diet's going to impact that. But with that being said, I had 6 eggs, and I had a bagel, and I had a banana. Now, understand, I hadn't committed to doing this thing yet. So I came home for lunch after getting into the book, and I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just have some ground turkey and some steak. So I did that. No, I'm sorry. I had ground turkey and I had another 6 eggs, and I was good for the rest of the day. That was lunch. Dinner time came, and I was just like, my wife asked me what I wanted. I wasn't hungry. So it's an interesting thing. This morning for breakfast, I had 2 eggs. I had 3 slices of bacon, and I had a New York strip steak. It was probably about, I want to say about 8 ounces. So pretty basic. And then I came back home for lunch, and I had ground turkey. Probably about another 10 ounces of ground turkey, and then I had another 4 ounces of I can't even remember the cut of meat, but 4 ounces of red meat. And honestly, I was feeling super tired before I came home, and like I wanted to take a nap. I ate my protein, and I'm like revitalized. I have so much energy now. So I know that anytime you eat, insulin spikes, and then it has a whole impact on glycogen, blood sugar, all that stuff. So the only way I'm going to figure this whole thing out is if I continue to do it and see how it goes. We're going to continue this video log every single day, and I'll post every single day without fail. Come hell or high water, if I'm feeling crappy. Oh, speaking of feeling crappy, that was one of the negative side effects, is after about 24 hours, I had diarrhea. So, and it hit me pretty abruptly. So I'm lucky that I was close to a toilet. But I know that's probably feels like too much information, but just so you guys understand, that's as I'm getting into this book, I'm realizing that meat is absorbed in the small intestines, and it doesn't leave much for the large intestines. So as it goes through the gastrointestinal tract, Um, initially as you're starting this carnivore diet, it might give you that. So don't let that deter you, right? I'm praying that I don't lose a bunch of weight, because I don't have a bunch of weight to lose. But I'm just going to continue to eating meat until I'm satisfied. Um, and I'll monitor my weight. I was 155 pounds this morning, and so we'll keep checking it out. Appreciate you guys, and tune in for the journey.